Okay, I'll take that as a no. So let's get started with load balancer. We do have sufficient quorum, though not many of you have joined, but that's okay. Few are missing, I would say. Maximum have joined. So let's get started with load balancer. I have already explained load balancer, what it is, how it works, what exactly do you mean by load balancer. Then yesterday we discussed the components of load balancer, front end public IP, load balancer rules, health probe. Front end public IP will come only if we are creating an external load balancer. If it is an internal load balancer, you don't require a front end public IP. Front end will be there, but public IP it's not required. Then health probe. Health probe is a component which is responsible for checking the health of your servers, which are there in the backend. So backend is one component, health probe is a component, load balancer rules is a component, front end IP it's a component. In combining all of these, we can create a load balancer and we can accordingly work on a load balancer. Is it clear, guys, to everyone till here?
Yes, sir.
Yes, bhai.
Okay, let me open a video and I can share some diagram with you. This is one of the examples of load balancer. Again, it's the same one. Can someone tell me what kind of load balancer it looks like? Does it look like a public load balancer, an external one, or an internal one? I mean, by look, I don't mean just don't go on aesthetic. I'm looking for a technical answer. By look, what I mean, just read the diagram and then tell me. And if you say it's an internal, why? If you say it's an external, why?
It's external
It's
because the
external.
public IP is there.
And where do you see public IP? Just because I've named it as PIP, do you see that as public IP?
20.157.
20.157. Yes.
Perfect, perfect, guys. This is how you should be able to, answer your interviewer's question with confidence, even if uh, he's trying to confuse you, he or she is trying to confuse you. You should have this confidence in you. Now, this is a public IP. This is a public load balancer for sure. How do you know that? Not because the name says load balancer public IP, because I see the front end IP. It's a public IP. 20 is a public IP range, and that is the reason it is a public one. By the way, in this diagram here, I have given public IPs, but these public IPs I have given just for my remote purpose. Otherwise, when you have a public IP in front of the load balancer, you don't need to have the public IPs here. But why I needed public IPs here on these machines? I wanted to take remote, I wanted to host a website on this, I wanted to turn off the firewall, etc. I had many work in these servers. For that reason only, I had assigned public IP. Other than that, there is no reason that your backend servers should have public IP. You already have one public IP, and all of your users, external users, they will connect to this IP. Even if you have public IPs here, no one is going to connect to them directly. If they're connecting to that, then there is no load balancer, then there is no redundancy, nothing is there. It's just a direct connection, and we don't do that. Is it clear, guys, to everyone?
Yes.
Okay, now let's look at the next example. If you remember, I talked about 3-tier application. Yesterday also I reminded this to you guys. One thing, first tell me, this 3-tier application, can I call this application a highly available application? If you guys remember, we have done a depth study on this and a thorough practice also. I asked you whether it's highly available or not, and you guys confirmed, and if yes, why? If not, why? So based on that, this is a 3-tier application where I have front end, back end, and database. Is it a highly available application?
I think yes.
Yes, Albert.
Anyone who thinks no, it is not highly available application?
It is, but in database there is only one VM.
Perfect. So it is not. Simple. You don't have to hesitate. It is not. See, I have 4 servers here. If one goes down, second will give me service. If this goes down, this will give me service. If this goes down, this will give me service. Similarly, in backend, if this goes down, this will give me service. This goes down, I have some other option. But what about database? There is only one point of failure in database. If one virtual machine goes down in database, does it make any sense that I run my application? Let's say this is Amazon. all orders and everything are being saved कि मेरे पास कितना stock है, किसने क्या order कर दिया, वो सब की dependency इस पे है. But the application which is running that has 4 server. Order लेने का process जो पूरा है उसके पास भी 4 server है. तो अगर ये down होता है तो I have multiple servers. If this goes down, I have multiple server. Still, if I do not have that capacity where I can show the users that what kind of stock I have available, what kind of stock you are ordering, and I cannot capture those details, will I call my application up and running? Is my application running then? Can someone order?
No.
Then is it highly available?
No.
No. So don't
No.
hesitate. Yes, don't hesitate. If it is not, if it is, it is not simply when it goes to your client and your interviews also. If someone is sharing something like this, don't hesitate that you are pinpointing their application. If it is not, if it then it is not. You have to be honest about it. That fine, you have done a good setup, everything it's good. But as an analyst, when I look it from my point of view, or as an administrator, I have worked on many applications. From my point of view and from Microsoft's recommendation, this is definitely not a highly available application. You don't have to hesitate about it. Is it clear, guys, to everyone?
Yes,
Yes.
Selva.
Okay, great. And next thing is, if you ignore this one, what kind of load balancer do I have? The first load balancer, let's say. This one, the one the user which is directly connecting to, what kind of load balancer it is?
Public.
And why is it public?
External.
Why is it external?
The IP range. Public IP 58.
Okay. And plus external users are connecting to this, hence I needed public. So I have kept it public, right? That is the reason it is public. Next one, from front end to back end, which is going. What kind of this one I have here?
Internal.
It's private, internal.
But it says PIP
Private.
against it. Why are you guys saying it's internal? I have written PIP. Can't you see I've written public IP? PIP का मतलब ये होता है public IP. Then why don't you think it's a PIP? It's an external one.
But it has a private range.
Perfect. Just because I've written PIP, it doesn't matter, right? If it is written PIP, but the IP address which is there, it is public. It is a private IP. Right? Similarly, from here where it is going to database, it's a private IP. So again, it's an internal one. Why would I have it when I have only one server? Why would I have it this load balancer? Maybe I'm planning to have one more server. Simple. Then I could have a load balancer. Now this load balancer makes sense to me. Is it clear, guys? Did you get it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Good. Now look at this. This is our complete solution. Okay. So as of now, what we are going to discuss or what we are going to learn as a practical, it's only external IP, and maximum I'm going to have 2 servers, because this one I want to practice in one of your subscriptions, so I can leave those machines on for you, so you guys don't have to create a machine, create a website on that, because that is not a part of your course, right? And when I practice in your subscription, then I do have limitation of machines. So we are gonna do this only with 2 servers, one public IP, an external load balancer. And later I'm sure you guys will understand. I mean, it's same approach, a few steps here and there for public and private. So let's get started. Before we go ahead and do that, let me show you one of the subscriptions. I am here in Sufyan's subscription. There are only 2 subscriptions as of now. We have Sufyan's and Zoeb. I have created machines in both of them. I have created images of those machines. I will show it to you how to use that. So you guys don't have to create a server from scratch, create a website. No, you don't have to do that. Username, it's tap out for those machines. Password is Windows at 2023. Right? You don't have to select anything else. You just have to select that image and deploy the machine. How to do that? I will show it to you guys. Right? In both subscriptions, I'm going to keep that. In Zoeb's subscription, I have already created image. In Sufyan's subscription, I do have machines now. I will create images out of these machines. So today you will understand how to create image, that also, and how to use image. That is also you will understand today. how to utilize that image and create a virtual machine. That will also you learn. And obviously the main focus we are keeping on load balancer. So you will learn load balancer also. Before that, let me just show you that we do have two servers here, two machines. As of now, just for the practice purpose, I have kept public IP. You guys, when you create, you don't have to put public IP, because you don't have to go ahead and remote to that machine, because I've already created user ID over there. I've turned off the firewall. I have created the website. I have installed the role of website. Everything is done. So you guys don't require public IP. When you practice, I want you to do it without public IP. When I check your practical, and if I see a public IP on your machine, I'm going to mark that as a wrong or incorrect practical. Deliberately, I want you to put efforts, and I want you to have machines without public IP. Is it clear, guys?
Yes.
Because I have done everything for on these machines. You don't have to do anything. You simply have to use these machines in backend. I'll show it to you. How are we doing today? All 3 sessions we are spending on practical, a detailed one we are doing. If you don't understand anything except for what I'm saying, or where I'm saying that leave this part, we are not discussing, except for that, if you don't understand anything, ask me to repeat. I will do that for you. Okay, but when you guys do homework, I'm expecting you to do it correctly, because it will make a blunder if you have public IP on machine also, and on on your load balancer also. Then it's not a good practice, and it's a blunder. So I want you to be focused about it and make sure you do not have public IP on your machines. Okay, so what have I done here? I've created 2 servers. Now on these 2 servers, guys, I have purposely made different websites. However, I want you to understand it very clearly that this is only for the practice purpose. When you go for the actual environment, you want the same website, right? If you have 2 different websites on these 2 different servers, is it any sort of high availability? If there are 2 different applications,
No, it's not.
it's not,
No,
right?
it is not.
Yeah, we want highly available applications. So application team, they will make sure that the same website is there, everything is same. But here in practice session, I'm keeping it different. Why? Because if I keep it same, then you guys will not understand what I'm gonna do here. I'm gonna put these 2 servers at the back end. We will have a front load balancer, and through load balancer, we will try to use these servers. And then I will shut down one server. Then you will use same IP, and then you will see that you're looking at different website. This is just for your understanding, but in a real environment, we require same website. We require everything should be same. That is the motto we have, right? If we are not able to achieve the similarities on these servers, then it is not high availability. Is this clear, guys? Did you understand?
Correct.
Okay, now I want you guys to please check these servers and let me know what website do you see against which IP. So I've shared 2 IPs with you. A verbal confirmation is enough. One IP ending with 71, one IP ending with 98. What website do you see? Just copy and paste it in your browser. And let me know.
Ending with 71 is a piece of website.
Yes, 71 T-Soft website.
And other one is UT-Kloud.
UT-Kloud, right?
Second 20.28 228 wala UT-Kloud website.
Got it. So you guys are able to see 2 different websites. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes.
This is just for practice. Even the public IP, it's just for practice. Otherwise, you will have normal servers without public IP and similar application on both of them. How those applications are syncing with each other, you don't have to worry about it. Is it clear, guys? Till here? Do not get confused. I do not want you to get confused and apply the test methods in your actual interview, right? Hence, I'm explaining it again and again. So if we have 4 servers, we will require the website, similar website on those 4 servers. Application team will make sure of that how they are syncing everything. It is their job. And even if you are doing it, you will have those softwares and etc. But is this clear that if you have 4 servers, you are not having 4 different applications? We are doing this all because we want one application. We want high availability for one application, and you won't have public IPs here. This is for a practice purpose. So even you guys can check. Is it clear, guys, to everyone?
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's have one load balancer and use this one as our backend server. So these machines are in East US. Can I have my load balancer in West US?
No, it should be,
in
it
same
has to
region.
be in same region.
Okay, what else should I check? While before deploying the load balancer, do I have to check any other component of this machine or this
Same
application?
VNet.
Perfect, VNet. So I have to check the VNet also. So first thing, let me check if both these machines are in same VNet. What is the VNet of this machine?
New VNet.
New VNet.
VNet
What is the
Tsoft
subnet?
Subnet.
Tsoft is the subnet. Now let's check this machine. What is the VNet of this machine and what is the subnet of this machine?
New VNet
VNet and
UT-Kloud
UT-Kloud.
Subnet.
So here you noticed one thing, that VNet is same, but the subnets are different, which means that you can have machines in backend from different subnets as far as they are a part of same VNet. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes.
Yes, guys. Anyone did not understand? Any confusion?
Sohail, I did not understand this point which you have said. Same VNet, different. Sorry.
Yeah, it's a simple one. It's a simple one, guys. You can mute yourself if you do not have questions. Mudassar, do you have any question?
No, Sulbhai. Oh, can you please
ask.
repeat?
Yeah, I'll do that. Nirmal also asked. I'll do that. Anyone else has any question? Okay. So as Nirmal asked or Mudassar asked to repeat, what am I saying here? That VNet has to be same. When I am deploying a load balancer, I'll have to make sure that I'm deploying that in East US and under the same VNet. This is a criteria. This is a condition. But subnet is not a condition. That is the reason I deployed these two machines in different subnet, just to make it clear to you guys कि subnet का कोई ये नहीं है, restriction नहीं है. I can have one machine in different subnet. Look at this. I have one machine in Tsoft subnet, another machine in UT-Kloud subnet. So what I'm trying to say here, it's load balancer में क्या conditions है? Region and VNet. Subnet is not a condition. Your load balancer has to be a part of that VNet, and all the subnets under that VNet will be covered, or you will be able to pick machines from those subnets. Is it clear, guys?
Yes.
Nirmal, is it clear? Did you get it?
So, yeah.
So you don't have to do it. It's not necessary that you have to create in different subnets. I created it just to make you guys understand. All machines can be in one subnet, they can be in different subnet, whatever. There is no restriction when it comes to subnet. Okay, so now let's go ahead and create a load balancer. So to create a load balancer, you guys will have to search load balancer here. We have seen this already yesterday, this screen. We have 4 options: application gateway, front door, load balancer, traffic manager. We are dealing with load balancer. So you will see all the load balancers here. If there is no, you won't see anything. And then you can create a new from here or here. You select a new option. I hope the cursor, I've increased the size of cursor so it is visible to you guys. Okay. Plus, there
Yes,
is no restriction that if my machines are in my resource group, then the load balancer has to be in the same resource group. There is no restriction. It can be in different resource group, but just for the deleting purpose, I'm creating it in the same resource group. I have to give a name. Whose name are we talking about? Is it the application name or is it some virtual machine name? Which name is it asking here?
Load balancers.
Load balancer.
Yes, load balancer's name. It has to be some sensible name. In this case, let's say that we are talking about some payroll application. So maybe you can call it as, let's not call it UT-Kloud because I have somewhere I have written Tsoft. So let's say let's say that UT-Kloud load balancer session. Okay, this is the name I'm giving Okay, what if I just say test? Will it take? What does it mean? It is not unique. It doesn't have to be unique. It can be anything. You can use a test load balancer in your environment. I can use it in my environment. East US. Can I go ahead and select any other region?
No, you cannot.
Right. Why?
You
Because my
have to
machines
select the
are
region.
in East US. That is the reason I have to select East US. Standard and basic. I have already explained it to you guys. So I'm not explaining it again. We have done a thorough session yesterday. Still, just to show you one more thing, you can add this to your interview. It gives a good impression that what kind of SKUs do we have? We have standard, we have gateway, and we have basic. However, basic is going to be retired on 30th of September 2025. So we are going to only have gateway and standard. Under basic, there is no SLA. Under standard, we have SLA of 99.99. Under basic, we can have only, okay, in this scenario, the one which I've shown you two virtual machines. Can I use basic?
Yes, well, by 5 weekends.
Fine.
Basic
What
is
about
free,
others?
right?
So, yeah, basic is free. Sorry, who answered yes? Didn't see it.
Yes, well,
Sufyan, fine, got it. So was it you?
yes, well,
Okay, you said yes. Who else says yes? Who else think that I can use basic, or who thinks no? I think majority of you are thinking yes. I'm not saying who's correct, who's incorrect here. Just want to see your understanding. Anyone who thinks it cannot be?
We
No, but it cannot be because
Basic.
a standard we can use any VM, and for basic we can use VMs that are on availability set and skill set only.
Perfect. And are my virtual machines in availability set or scale set?
No, it is not.
No.
It is separated VM.
Okay. So understood, guys, we cannot use basic. If I do a basic here at the back end, I will not see my machines. If I'm using basic, my machines, they have to be in availability set or virtual machine scale set. I hope you guys remember virtual machine scale set. By the way, load balancer, we can create like this, the way we are creating, or you can create while creating a virtual machine scale set also. Let's say if I'm creating a virtual machine scale set, okay, if I'm creating a virtual machine scale set, while creating virtual machine scale set, also I do get an option to create load balancer. Can you see this? Load balancer. And obviously application gateway we'll discuss when we talk about it. So we can create it from here or directly from here. It's one and same thing. Just because you're creating from here, it doesn't make any changes. Okay, so you can see, you can create a load balancer from here also while creating a virtual machine scale set, VMSS. It gives you option internal, public, same options we are going to get there also, right? But here, when we are creating, we have to make sure, or we have to be very vigilant that what kind of machines do we have for the backend. So like yesterday we discussed, it is there in the, it is there here on my OneNote, that if we use basic, what kind of machines can I use? Machines or virtual machines in availability set or scale set. Only those can be seen when I use basic. However, if it is very plain virtual machine, it can be seen in standard. So in this case, no, I cannot use basic. I have to go with standard. Gateway, we are not discussing. If you want more details, you can click here, learn more, and you will get more details on basic and standard. Here it is. I have just put some scenarios out of it. 5, I have picked few of them, and I asked you to remember just 5 of them. But if someone wants to go ahead and read in detail, here it is. You have n number of details here. You can go ahead and read the complete one and remember whichever you want. Got it, guys? So this is basic, this is this one. Obviously, we are going with standard. What are we talking about? Are we talking about public or internal? Which one did we discuss? We discuss public. So I'll go ahead and take public. Okay. Though this is a regional service, guys, we can use a global also, but this is not exactly a global service. So we'll come to this later. As of now, let's stick to regional. Global में क्या होता है? If you have 2 load balancers और load balancer के आगे एक load balancer लगाना है ना आपको, then you can use global. That is possible, by the way. If an interviewer is asking that I have this load balancer, okay, and I have exact similar setup, Okay, I have exact similar setup, and I want to have, let's say that I have exact similar setup like this. Let's say this is one setup, and then I have exact similar setup here, and then I got two load balancers, right? So interviewer may ask, is it possible to have another load balancer where at the back end I will have two load balancers? So yes guys, that is also possible. You can have load balancers का भी load balancer आप रख सकते हो. So you simply have to have a load balancer here, and इस load balancer के back end में क्या होगा? आपके ये दो load balancer. If it is too small, sorry about it. Let me try to increase the size if possible. But I hope you understand it, what I'm trying to say. This is also possible, guys. And here, instead of load balancer, you can have application gateway also. So at the back end, it is not necessary to have machines. You can have load balancers also at the back end. So if you want to do this setup, then you will go ahead and select regional here. Only in that particular scenario where you are putting a load balancer in front of load balancers. But instead of load balancer, you're just using machines or something, then you are going to use regional. Is it clear? Did you guys understand?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Anyone who didn't understand? Okay, so I'll consider that all of you have understood. And here, if I take internal, very small changes. I'll show the internal one later. First, let's check and do the full practical of one load balancer. And once that is done, I'll show you the internal one again. Next is front-end IP. I hope you guys remember this. These are the components we're talking about. So front-end IP. Front-end IP is something which you will give to your customers. Now I had shared two public IPs with you guys, right? But that was just for testing purpose. So you guys should know. Otherwise, I'm not sharing any machines public IP with you. So what am I sharing with you? I'm going to share the front-end public IP with my users. So here it is. I'm creating a front-end public IP. Here again, I can give whatever name I want to give. So let's say I again say it UT-Kloud load balancer session. I want the public IP for this one. Do I have a public IP which can be associated here? No. Let's create one. So I'm creating one. Okay, don't worry about this. What is availability zone or zone redundancy in public IP? It's okay. You don't have to go to that depth. Just select it. Gateway load balance we are not discussing. Click on add. So now I have something which I share with you guys, through which you can access my application. This is what it is, which I'm going to share with you. It is not ready yet, but this is what I'm going to share with you. One more important thing to remember. While deploying the load balancer, what do we have? We have basic information, we have front-end IP, we have backend pool, we have inbound rules, we have outbound rules, and we have tagging, etc. All these can be configured after creation also, except for one thing, which is your public IP. If I do not give a public IP here or front-end IP, it's not even public IP all the time, because we are discussing an external load balancer. I'm saying it public IP. Front-end IP. While creating a load balancer, you are supposed to give, it is must to give a front-end IP. If you don't give a front-end IP, the next button it's grayed out. I'm not sure if you guys noticed or not, but watch the recording and you will see it was grayed out. Apart from this, backend pool, I can add from here, or I can add once it is created. Inbound rules, I can add now, or I can add later. Outbound rules, I can add now, I can add later. Tag, etc. Everything I can add now, or I can do later. But there is one component which you have to add while creating the load balancer. What is that component, guys?
Public IP.
No, it's not public IP. What if I'm deploying an internal load
Front-end
balancer?
IP.
Front
Front
end.
end IP. Sorry, front end
Front-end
IP.
IP.
Sorry.
Yes,
Front
please
end
make
IP.
sure you remember this, guys. Front-end IP interview में पूछते हैं, कई बार पूछते हैं इसको. That can I configure my load balancer later? Yes, you can. The only one component which you need to have while creating it is front-end IP. Okay, so 3 minutes are left, guys. I have deployed this. We'll meet once this deployment has been completed. It takes some time, not VPN, not as long as VPN takes, not 15-20 minutes, but maybe 5-10 minutes. So 3 minutes are left. Do you guys have any questions till now?
Bhai, can we have two front-end IP? One is public and one private.
No, not in the same one.
Okay.
Not in the same load balancer.
And why we use if we use two public IPs? Why would you use?
Two public IP? Yes, I can use. Why not? Maybe the same set of server I want to use for one for RDP and one public IP for my website directly. One for
Okay.
application, one for some other application. On one server, I can have multiple applications also. Right? It's not necessary on one server. I can have only one application. I can have multiple applications also. So I'll give you one public IP to a set of user and they are using that service. One set of IP to another user, they're using that service. Sorry, what was that, Sareen?
That error showing two public IP addresses are needed for.
No, don't worry. This is not our page. This is our page where
Okay.
we are creating. So it has been deployed already, but let's wait for some time. This is, I was showing it to you that while creating the load balancer, while creating the virtual machine scale set, you can create a load balancer. That is what I was showing to you. So it says that two public IP addresses are needed. I have not put any IP address or anything on the load balancer. I was just showing it to you guys that while creating the machine, you can also create a load balancer while creating a virtual machine scale set. Right? So do you guys have any other questions? Yes, guys, any doubt, any questions? Okay, if not, let me end the session and I'll see you guys at 14:55. It has been deployed, but I just wait for some time for synchronization and everything. It is not yet ready. Don't just imagine now we can go and access using that website. It is just a front-end IP. That front-end IP doesn't even know who are there in the backend. Okay, traffic redirect karna kisko hai? What have we done now? Just this one. It doesn't know backend में कौन है, क्या health probe है, किस ports पे जाना है. It doesn't know anything. So we are doing that in next session. I will stop the session now. I'll see you guys at 14:55. Okay, 7 or 8 minutes break we are taking. You guys can join the session using the same link. I'm stopping the session now.